Hey y'all, SubparGeekGirl96 here with some very difficult news. After a lot of reflecting, I think it might be time to shut down this channel. But first, I need to tell you why. I actually had a very bad experience with some food from Subpar the other day, and we need to talk about it. This isn't easy, but it's important. Sometimes the people and brands you care about the most will let you down. Sometimes it's like my dad, who left my mom and me at Subpar when I was 8, and that was the last time I saw him. And then sometimes it's like really bad, and this is one of those times. So I guess I should start at the beginning. It was basically a normal day at my job. I work at Alpine Sphere Solutions, and usually I wouldn't talk about that. I don't really like my job that much. It kind of sucks, to be honest. They're always telling me I'm underperforming and I scare off the clients. So anyways, it was just a normal day, except one of my coworkers, this old white man named Rufus, was leaving. And I know he'd been with the company for a long time, like probably at least 5 years. And I was like never that close with him because he was like old and dusty and he kind of avoided me. And like a lot of my coworkers do that, but so does Rufus. So anyway, Rufus was like retiring or whatever. And the company told us we were gonna have a little going away party for him since he'd been here so long with like a fancy buffet. And I was like, fine, whatever. But then imagine my delight and surprise when it turned out we were actually having Subpar come to cater for us. I was like, I knew they did that, but I never go to any parties. Great, when am I gonna get to experience that? Like you can't have a party with just one person. Anyway, so I'm like, wow, this just got so much better. And Sublo and Tangy Mustard were there, looking sexy as usual. I think it might have been the same Sublo I went on that date with a while ago. I couldn't tell for sure, but I missed my chance to find out. So anyway, somehow Rufus was like, I'm too good for Subpar. I've been at this company for like at least 5 years. He said some very nasty things, to be honest. He was like saying that our company Alpine Sphere hadn't treated him with respect, that they were ageist, and I'm like, excuse me, Subpar is for everyone. Yes, their marketing is primarily aimed at children, but it's clearly appropriate for all ages, so for no reason he was mad about it. But then the more he talked to the Subpar caterers, the more he started having fun, and by the end of the lunch they were all laughing together. So, you know, that's just a little example of the magic of Subpar. They truly know how to make you feel loved. So Rufus was having a pretty good time, and I decided if this Subpar food is free and you can eat all you want, I'm gonna take advantage of that. So I honestly had maybe a little more than I needed at lunch, and then I took a few sandwiches for dinner too, and enough for breakfast the next day as well. And that was just like perfect, or so I thought. So the Subpar team packed up and left, and we got back to work. And Rufus was clearly still riding the high of a delicious Subpar lunch. He was laughing to himself for like the rest of the day. But shortly after they left, I began to feel, well, a little weird. My insides were suddenly not happy, and I had to go to the washroom several times, and each time was worse than the last. And I don't want to go into detail, but let's just say it was all number 2 and all very messy and noisy and embarrassing. And I had to go home early because I didn't have extra clothes. So that was not great. But I was like, okay, maybe the oatmeal I had for breakfast had gone bad or something. It couldn't have been the Subpar. So for dinner, I had my Subpar leftovers, and I had a terrible night. I'm not gonna go into detail, let's just say it was a repeat of the afternoon. They got all over my bed, and my sheets were completely brown and wet, and my neighbors started yelling about the noise and the smell, and I was just like, okay, something isn't right here. So, cut to this morning. I was like, I don't know what happened yesterday, but I'm just gonna write it off as a fluke. Today is a new day and a fresh start. And speaking of fresh, those Subpar sandwiches seem to be holding up pretty well in my fridge, so I heated them up and went to town, and, well, the rest is history. I'm not gonna go into too much detail because it's kind of gross, but it felt like my stomach turned inside out and it was exploding out of pretty much every orifice. And I kind of blacked out, or I guess browned out would be more appropriate. So let's just say there's literally a hazmat team cleaning my apartment now, and it's costing me a lot of money. I told them to be careful cleaning some of the Subpar merchandise because, you know, some of that stuff is extremely valuable and hard to replace.
Oh, she's still in here.
So
You can't be here.
I just have to...
These chemicals are strong. You need to leave for at least 24
But you know, then I started thinking, what did all these incidents have in common? And an awful thought spread across my mind. I ate Subpar before each incident. So now I'm faced with a sad decision. I have to give up eating Subpar sandwiches. I can't do it anymore. It's just too traumatic. The violent wrath with which my bowels excreted those many, many sandwiches was just too intense. I will not repeat that experience. So, I'm done with Subpar. For now. But I know there's hope for Subpar, because yesterday Rufus clearly must have eaten enough to put a big smile on his face, and yet he didn't get sick at all. So maybe I'll just take a little break from Subpar, and then get back into the game. I might stop by Subpar tonight just to pick up a sandwich for old time's sake, just in case I want to try it again, because you never know what could happen. So for now, this is SubparGeekGirl96 signing off. Maybe forever. But maybe I'll be back with another sandwich review tomorrow. And maybe, just maybe, it'll be a solid 10 out of 10 tangy mustards.
Okay, so you're done, right? You can't be here.
So just like,
Is there anywhere else
not-
you can go?
Wait, what time is it?
Yeah, recording a video or something.
Yeah.